All right, so we're back with the 327 swap project. We actually managed to get the mock-up block installed. So come along, we'll show you what we got going. All right, you can see we have the swap mounts. We went ahead and were able to get the rubber mounts mounted to the frame. We got these mounted to the block, and the stock transmission mount and cross member are in the back. As far as dropping this engine in, it's like dropping any other engine in any other swap. Have to get somebody underneath, either jack or push up on it, and somebody up here working the controls to shove it in. As far as that goes, that's all the same. But the reason I did this whole thing is we're going to be able to build this like a set of adult Legos, so to speak. We'll be able to put the head on, see what in the header, and see what's got to be done on this side. Put the head on that side, put the intake manifold on, make sure everything fits, start routing wires and all that. So we're going to get this engine hoist out of the way, and we're going to start setting a head on here and see what we can figure out. All right, hoist out of the way, we went ahead and we have one head bolted on, and I already see a potential issue. Not 100% sure, but we're going to find out. But I think the shifter may be a problem and in the way. But with it mocked up like this, we should be able to figure out what we need to do to make it work out. The head is on there, and we can be able to see how much room we're going to have for some headers. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take the shaft out, and I think you have to put the shaft and the header on at the same time. Not 100% sure. Never done this before. We figured it out as we go. We've got this other head over here we got to put on, and hopefully it is enough room. Because I think we're slid. No, we can actually slide just a little bit further forward this way if we need to. But if we do, it means we're going to have to slot the transmission mount just a little bit. It won't be enough slid forward that the drive shaft and yoke will be a problem. We actually have, since we lowered it, it actually pushes the drive shaft further up in the transmission, so that would allow you to actually move this motor a little bit further forward. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is having room for radiators and fans and accessory drives and all that stuff. So let me grab this other head and we'll see about what we got to do to throw it on here. For some accessory I got to take off this old head. Let's see. I wouldn't want to pull heads on this little darling. In chassis, that's for sure. Let's see. Come on, what are we doing here? I can't see what I'm doing. I'll try to get down here and see. Line up with that one. That's not it. I'm not close. There it is. Let's see. Yes, there it is. Whew. Yeah, googly moogly. Got it. Now, just barely touching some wiring back here in the back, and that's not going to be a big deal. It needs to be kind of tucked over, maybe some heat shielding put on it. Now we got this other head sitting on here. We can go ahead and mock in the an intake and see what if a distributor is going to drop in there.
Notch out.
I have no idea. I'm wanting to see if a distributor is going to mount in here.
That's what I want to.
All right, well, we got a couple of things that need to go here. This, I think, was some kind of a spark control module for the 4.3, and it can absolutely come off. No need in having it there. There's one other thing that kind of looks like it's in the way, is there's a loom holder right here that holds all the air conditioning wires and stuff. Let's see, it's got a bracket here, it's on the AC box. You got this split loom stuff here. See, and we're gonna get an opportunity to clean all this garbage up and make it look a whole lot better. This will be clipped off, gotten out of the way. So I'm gonna tuck it over and kind of get it out of the way right now. Kick down cable right there, and it keeps. Thought I had it pinned, and now it's not. Come on, man, work with me here. Get up in there. It doesn't want to stay. Get up in there. All right. Tuck that over. All these wires here are getting cold. They're not being anything. This one has got to stay because it is a. I think it's got to stay. It might be able to go. Yeah, it can go. It is power wire for under hood light. That can go. This thing here is about to piss me off. Get it laid over. Then we're going to need to move this. And we've got a vacuum tube that goes along with this. So let's see what we can do with this stuff and make it to where this distributor will drop in. Nothing wanting to work with me. Now that'll push back, and we could probably take something like some kind of self tapper or something right there and hold it pinned back like that, and it'll still be loomed up and everything. Sits there real nice. Let's see our distributor, how it's gonna have enough room or not. The vacuum pods are usually faced right that direction. Yep. And she's, of course, I know we have no camshaft and all that, but as far as dropping it down in there, it goes down. And let me go get the cap, and we'll see if the cap is going to be able to fit on there, because I'm pretty confident my son does not want to be putting a slim line Mallory on here, because those are quite expensive. So anyway, let's go see if that cap's gonna fit or not, or if I'm gonna have to do something different with that wiring. Like I say, you better make sure that distributor's dropped in the right spot. You better make sure that your timing's right when you drop that distributor off in there, because you're not gonna have a great lot of turning room on it. Got more that way than this way. All right, I think we got it. Let's lock the cap on. All right, well, it's in there. All right, yesterday after we were done filming for the day, we went ahead and I went ahead and mocked up this carburetor and sat some valve covers on to kind of get an idea of what things were going to look like and be able to give my son an idea of what it was going to look like. I kind of wanted to see what the hood clearance was going to be. Still not sure that it's going to clear with that setup on there. We may have to get one of the recessed deep bowl style breathers, and so that the breather sits a little lower. Don't know exactly yet if that's going to be the case, but one of the things that we did, and I'll show you on this side over here, is we did the headers. We stuck them down in there, and this one fits really well. It's in there like swimwear, but it fits. And probably gonna have to put some kind of heat shield back there. My son's talking about he's gonna heat wrap these headers, so that should help a bunch too. But it falls in just the right spot and drops out the bottom. I'm not sure what kind of headers these are. These are some kind of a cheap swap header. I don't know where he bought them from. Started trying to fit up this other side, and well, no, it's not exactly fitting. So we undid the steering shaft so that it can stick down here in between these two center pipes they've designed them to come out and around the steering shaft. But that's not the problem. The steering shaft looks like it's going to fit just fine. It's one of these two pipes. I'll have to mark it before I do it, but one of these two pipes is actually hitting the control arm. I had a thought that maybe if the weight was up off the suspension that it might change the angle of it, and well, I don't think that's the case. And I may actually try putting some weight on the suspension and bring it up, just put some jack stands under the suspension and see where it puts it, see if it changes anything. But I don't know if that's going to matter. I think I'm still going to have to put a dent in one of these pipes to make it fit. So we will see what we shall see. So let me get in here and get to work and get going. And of course we had an audio failure. Here I took the protective sleeve, the dust shield, and I show you where I had to take it off. Used a little air saw, split it open, and got it out of the way. This thing, I will be able to go back later and put it back together. If I need to, I can plastic weld that seam right there. No big deal, get it back on there. But the biggest thing is here, see, I had this header hitting the control arm, and I had thought that I had some marks there, and I did. But here I have a piece of cross tie iron that I use to back up when I need to bend something like this. Couldn't decide which side of the hammer I wanted to use, and then bam, and bam, and bam, and a little sound effect, bam. There you go, nice little sound effect for you. And we made a little, little indention in it. Wasn't happy with it, so I decided I'd go back and beat on it some more, and bam. And let's give it a bam there, and let's whap whap whap, let's just put some dimples all in it, wham wham wham, knock on it with a hammer until we get it looking like a pretzel, get it beat around there to where we like it. Well, it's not too bad. Like I said, I didn't cave it in. I just put a nice little recess in it, and we go back and we try to put it back in again, and we're looking at it and we get it rolled in place. Nope, we're going to fart around with it for a couple of more minutes. Wiggle, shake, and fiddle. Yeah, it's the real world garage. This is what we do. And come to find out, boom, it popped in place, and then I'm going to get down here at the bottom in a second. I'm going to realize, well, you bent it in the wrong place, you ding dong. Okay, so now let's actually get the Sharpie out, and let's put a couple of marks on this thing. That way we'll know exactly where we should be beating on it with a hammer, instead of guessing like we did the first time. And it's not any big deal, really. It is what it is. Put a few marks on it. That way when we wrestle this pipe back out of here, we can actually put the dents on in the correct place. They've done a bunch of testing on these headers, a bunch of dyno testing with engines and stuff, and it really doesn't affect the performance. One thing I am doing here in this shot is I do know that these brake lines are actually touching, and I take and tweak and pull the brake lines to where they're actually not going to be touching the header. So now that I'm sitting here, I'm trying to scratch my butt and wind my watch, or wind my butt and scratch my watch. I don't know what I'm doing here, but we're gonna get this header back out of here in just a second, and then we're gonna take, here I am trying to tell you something of significance apparently. So anyway, we're fixing to pull this header back out of here in just a second, and then we can beat on it some more with the trusty hammer and cross tie iron. It's always a struggle here in the real world garage, and we like to show what all the real struggle is. I don't know why my flashlight was on there in that shot. I have no idea. Just turned around and it was on. So anyway, we're gonna keep struggling here. Struggle bus. Get on, ride the bus, and it is off. Boom. And we beat on it with a hammer, and voila, we come back, and you can see where I made the adjustment and the correction. So what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to stick it back on there one more time and see how it fits. It's a little tight, and I am ever so glad I removed the front clip off this vehicle. That is truly the only way to go. See, I can pull up a 5-gallon bucket, get up there, sit down, you know, look at what I need to be doing, make my fitting and my adjustments, and lo and behold, when you actually mark something with a Sharpie, well, it fit. All right, now that we got the header on, I put a bolt in here and here to get it pulled up, and it's nice and solid. You can see how it comes. The steering shaft goes right through the middle of it. But what I've got to work on is back here. See if I can get you a shot. You can see me moving it right there where I'm pointing. Get to focus on what's back here. But that is your shifter arm, and it is very, very close. Let's see if I can wiggle it and you can see it. That is the shifter arm, and it is right there by that header flange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath, and you can see it right there. There's the shift linkage. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that shift linkage and see what's got to be done if that shifter is going to work like it's supposed to. So I will be back in a few minutes after I get that done. Well, we've got the shifter all hooked up, and we're going to show you there. It goes in reverse, neutral, drive, third, second, and low. And you can hear a little rattle. It is right there by the flange on this header pipe. So how well it fits is yet to be determined, but it does clear enough that it is going in gear. There's not going to be a lot of room there to install exhaust pipe. That's going to be a hill to have to climb, but at the moment it appears that it will work. The problem is going to be down here at this flange down there. Let me move you in here and I can show you. Alright, that is the shifter arm. It comes down from where it comes off the column, and that's the arm. But it is really close right there. It touches the flange right there. And while we're in here, you can see where I made the little dent in the pipe to get the clearance you need to get around the control arm. So hopefully when that control arm gets the weight back on it and it comes up, it doesn't come up a whole lot, but hopefully that is enough room to clear that. Each little hurdle, one step closer to getting this together. Well, this is Comet. He showed up, kept showing up, so we started feeding him. I guess this is my new shop cat. Anyway, we're going to put a pin in this project behind me for right now. My son should be coming over tomorrow night. We'll be filming more footage, trying to get more accomplished. So, in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, why don't you go watch another video coming on the screen right now.